Namaskar, my name is Beebus.
Hello, my name is Declan.
This week, we're going to talk about Indian secularism. This is particularly important as since the rise of Narendra Modi and the BJP, there's been a question on whether Indian secularism is dying. This is because Modi and the BJP believe in Hindutva, the belief that India is a fundamentally Hindu country. We're not going to discuss Hindutva, that's for another episode, but we are going to discuss Indian secularism and why I believe that it's one of the worst variants of secularism in the world.
What makes India's form of secularism different than, say, American secularism or even the French system?
Well, fundamentally, India seems to just ignore the fundamental definition of secularism, which is to ignore religious considerations. India does not do that. Instead, what it does is protect religious identities. For example, in India, there are Muslim personal law and Hindu personal law, which applicable example would be a Muslim man can marry 3 women, but a Hindu man can't, which creates differences between groups. Another thing, India provides subsidies, financial subsidies, for pilgrimage for all of its major religions. For example, the Hajj subsidies, which provided money for Indian Muslims to go to pilgrimage, which to be fair was stopped by the BJP government in 2018, was incredibly costly. In 2009, India spent $138 million or 878 crore rupees on these subsidies. Another example, and even a more recent one, is 2020. Tamil Nadu increased subsidies for Christians to go to Jerusalem, with Chief Minister Eppadi K. Palaniswamy saying that Tamil Nadu is going to protect its religious minorities by doing so.
So why does India provide these subsidies?
India views that it's within their interest for the nation and social cohesion to protect the religious identity and aspiration of major religious groups.
This sounds like it would create ethnic tensions in India, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, and it has. Creating separate laws creates differences between communities and disincentivizes unity. And there has been political ramifications. It can allow for what many would call minority appeasement, particularly for its Muslim minority. So, an example I would give you is in 1985, the Indian Supreme Court decided that just by performing triple talaq, a Muslim man could not avoid paying maintenance to the woman he was divorcing. But in 1986, the next year, the Congress Party led by Rajiv Gandhi passed the Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Divorce Act of 1986. This pretty much negated the ruling by the Supreme Court by just requiring maintenance to be paid within the time of Iddah, a period of 4 months and 10 days where Muslim women cannot remarry. They did this because Muslims were big supporters of the Congress government, and the ruling by the Supreme Court caused a lot of outrage among Indian Muslims, and as such, wanting to keep their, what in India is called a vote bank, alive and quite loyal, they passed the Muslim Women Protection of Rights and Divorce Act. This caused major outrage in the country.
With the death of Indian secularism, what kind of secularism should rise instead?
I think a secularism that's actually adheres to the definition of it. Because remember, the definition of secularism is based on the principle that the religion and the state should not belong together. And it's in its literal definition, it states that it's a rejection of religious consideration. India does not have that. So the solution should be to pass a universal civil code where Muslims, Hindus, and any other religious group abide by one law, one nation, one law. Another thing that's very important is end religious subsidies for all religions. Stop spending money on religion because it's the opposite of secularism. And fundamentally, secularism should be defined as the state in all of its capacities, political, social, legal, should see people as people and not as Muslims, Hindus, or any other community. In conclusion, Indian secularism is based pretty much that India should protect its religious groups and their identity, which unfortunately has caused a lot of friction and communal violence in the country. The great solution to this would be to pass a universal civil code treating every Indian as Indian, not as a community, and that should solve many problems within India.